What if I told you that the single most important American fighter of World War II wasn't the iconic Mustang or the nimble Corsair? What if the aircraft that truly broke the back of the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service was a rugged, no-frills brawler designed with one purpose in mind: total air superiority? Today we're talking about the Grumman F6F Hellcat, the unsung hero of the Pacific War and, arguably, the greatest naval fighter of the entire conflict, cut to presenter or high-quality graphics and models of the Hellcat. When the United States entered World War II, its primary naval fighter was the Grumman F4F Wildcat. It was a tough little plane, but it was outclassed by the Japanese Mitsubishi A6M0 in terms of speed, climb rate, and maneuverability. American pilots had to rely on teamwork and specific tactics like the thatch weave just to survive. Grumman knew this. Even before the attack on Pearl Harbor, they were already working on a successor. They didn't just want a better plane, they wanted a zero killer. The project, initially called the F6F, began as an evolution of the Wildcat. But as combat reports flooded in from the Pacific, the design team, led by the legendary Leroy Grumman, made a critical decision. Instead of a small upgrade, they went for a complete redesign. They interviewed veteran Wildcat pilots asking them what they needed to win. The answer was clear: more power, more speed, better climb, more armor, and heavier armament, all while maintaining the ruggedness Grumman was famous for. The result was the F6F Hellcat. It was big, burly, and looked like a bodybuilder next to the sleek Zero. It wasn't designed to dance with the enemy. It was designed to overwhelm them. The heart of this beast was the massive Pratt Whitney R-2800 double wasp engine, the same powerhouse used in the F4U Corsair and P-47 Thunderbolt. This engine gave the Hellcat over 2,000 horsepower, allowing it to outrun and outclimb the Zero, especially at higher altitudes. Show animation of the R-2800 engine and technical schematics, but power was only part of the equation. Grumman's philosophy was, keep it simple, stupid. The Hellcat had wide-track, hydraulically operated landing gear that made carrier landings far safer and easier than the Corsair's tricky setup. This meant rookie pilots could get comfortable with the Hellcat quickly, a crucial advantage when the Navy needed to train thousands of new aviators. It was forgiving, stable, and incredibly tough. Grumman aircraft were often called the Grumman Iron Works, and the Hellcat lived up to that name. It was packed with 212 pounds of cockpit armor and a self-sealing fuel tank, allowing it to absorb an astonishing amount of damage and still bring its pilot home. Armament was another huge upgrade. The standard Hellcat carried 6 50 caliber Browning machine guns, 3 in each wing, with a massive ammunition load of 400 rounds per gun. This wall of lead could shred a lightly built Zero in a single well-aimed burst. Later models could also carry rockets and bombs, making the Hellcat a capable fighter bomber. The Hellcat made its combat debut in August 1943, and its impact was immediate and devastating. It was exactly the right plane at exactly the right time. The Navy was beginning its massive island-hopping campaign across the Central Pacific, and they needed a fighter that could dominate the skies above the fleet and the beachheads. The Hellcat delivered. Pilots who had struggled in Wildcats now found themselves with a decisive advantage. They could use the Hellcat's superior engine power to dictate the terms of the fight. The classic tactic was to use its speed to make high-side diving attacks on the more maneuverable Japanese fighters, firing a burst, and then using its power to zoom climb away, reposition, and attack again. Trying to dogfight a Zero was still a bad idea, but the Hellcat ensured you didn't have to. The climax of the Hellcat's career came in June 1944, during the Battle of the Philippine Sea. This massive naval engagement would become known to American pilots as the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. Over the course of 2 days, U.S. Navy Hellcat pilots, guided by superior radar and training, decimated the attacking Japanese carrier aircraft. In one of the most lopsided air battles in history, the Americans shot down over 400 Japanese planes, while losing only a handful of Hellcats in air-to-air combat. This single battle effectively shattered the operational capability of Japanese naval aviation for the rest of the war. The Hellcat was the principal instrument of that victory. Throughout the Pacific War, the numbers tell an incredible story. Hellcat pilots were credited with over 5,200 aerial victories, accounting for roughly 75% of all aerial kills by the U.S. Navy in the war. That's more than the Corsair, Wildcat, and all other Navy fighters combined. The kill-to-loss ratio for the Hellcat in air-to-air combat was an astounding 19-to-1. No other American fighter of the war comes close to that record. Over 300 Navy pilots became aces flying the Hellcat. The top Navy ace of all time, Captain David McCampbell, scored all 34 of his victories in a Hellcat he named Mincy. In one legendary mission, he shot down 9 Japanese planes, an American record for a single sortie. So why isn't the Hellcat as famous as the P-51 Mustang? Part of it is marketing and location. The Mustang fought over Europe, where the press corps was larger, and the story of escorting bombers to Berlin captured the public imagination. The Hellcat fought a brutal, lonely war over the vast expanses of the Pacific, often far from the headlines. Furthermore, the P-51's sleek, almost beautiful design made it a media darling, while the Hellcat's rugged, functional appearance was less glamorous. But make no mistake, while the Mustang was the perfect long-range escort, the Hellcat was the perfect naval fighter. It was the right tool for the right job, a masterpiece of pragmatic engineering that arrived at the perfect moment to turn the tide. It was tough, powerful, and easy to fly from a pitching carrier deck. It was the fighter that gave American naval aviators the confidence and the capability to sweep the skies clear of the enemy, paving the way for victory in the Pacific. It wasn't just a zero killer. It was an empire killer. The Grumman F6F Hellcat may not have the glamour of some of its contemporaries, but its combat record is undeniable. It was the workhorse, the brawler, the aircraft that truly won the air war at sea. It stands as a testament to a design philosophy that prioritized pilot survivability and battlefield effectiveness above all else. A true legend of the skies. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this look into aviation history, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let us know in the comments which aircraft you'd like to see us cover next. Fly safe, and we'll see you in the next one.